Why cartoon anime is not respected like regular anime?
Understand the power that's inside. Pokémon, gotta catch 'em all. It's you and me. I know it's my destiny.
Now you're probably asking yourself, what does he mean by cartoon anime? Alright, when I talk about cartoon anime, I'm referring to anime such as Pokémon, Bakugan, Beyblade, Yu-Gi-Oh, Digimon, along with stuff like Buddy Fights, Duel Masters, Chaotic. I'm just kidding on Chaotic. But that's what I mean when I'm talking about cartoon anime. And the reason I bring this up is because recently, whenever I'm asked a question like, what's your first ever anime? Or when somebody asks that question, typically their response would be, I started on like Pokemon, Bakugan, Beyblade, or whatnot, but they don't really count that as the anime started on. They'll go ahead and skip to like, oh, it looks like Dragon Ball, Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, My Hero, Demon Slayer, Jutsu. That's what they're gonna say. And I thought to myself, why is that the case? Why don't we all claim it all as like one whole thing instead of like making a separation? And I found out the answer. The audience appeal towards these animes are always towards kids, and not like shonen, because shonen is towards a younger demographic, but no, this is towards like a younger demographic, such as 4 through 8, maybe pushing 9, 10, but that's how young demographic, while shonen is usually towards kids aging around 12 to maybe like 16, 17. Now, okay, so you're probably like, okay, sure, it's probably for a younger audience, but that doesn't mean why can't it be still put in like other anime? Well, that's because there's also tropes in these anime which separates them. Now, don't get me wrong, there's always been dark scenes. Look at Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Has mad dark scenes. Even Pokemon has had some crazy dark scenes. But tropes like no one ever dying, right? Tropes like everybody's a winner in the end. Tropes like almost getting the tournament champion, always having groups and everything like that. Always somehow having that good card in the deck, always having that one Pokemon ready to go, having that good spin, or that's the type of tropes I'm talking about. And the story element, it doesn't have as much characterization as people would say for shonen, seinen, shoujo, more of an older demographic or older type anime, right? And you always see that too. You always have in these type of shows, you always have the main character. He's usually always a little hard-headed, stubborn. We have easy looks at that. We have Ash, Jinga Hagane. We have Dan Kuso, Yugi. I mean, it's Yugi form, but there's also different versions of anime like Jaden. He's also very hard-headed and stubborn. And then you also have that girl main side character that's always supposed to be there for common intelligence to like help them, keep them in a reality check. We have Misty, for example, girl with the goggles and Beyblade, shorty that be with Yugi and Yu-Gi-Oh! And then we also have the other member that's probably like always a little nerdy, timid and stuff like that. Characters like that, I would say, going to say Brock is one of those. Kenta from Beyblade, obviously I'm talking about fusion, metal fusion, whatnot, so obviously. Silas, he's more in Jaden's like GX, but you get GX stuff out, you feel me? That darker, mysterious rival, you feel me? And for that, we see that to be Gary for Ash. That was always one. There's different ones as well, but one is Gary for Ash. Seto Kaiba, I'm tripping. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Leon for Jenga. And what's his name? Masquerade or something like that, Sean. And again, you can find these tropes in seinen and shonen, don't get me wrong, but that's the main part, is that in the end of the day, they're supposed to be teaching a valuable lesson that's easy to understand for kids. Like you always get the lesson by the end of the episode. Well, with shonen, seinen, shoujo, you get it like by the end of the season. You understand like, oh, or you have to go back and rewatch it because like I didn't catch that the first time. Deeper character developments with those, while in these more kiddie anime, I don't like to use that term, but in the more kiddie anime, it's more like easy to pick up things. Like at the end of the day, you always can't do it by yourself. You have to have people to rely on, or never say there's no I in team and stuff like that, while you don't get such basic tropes and story plots in regular anime, and I feel like that's why people always differentiate. It's never like it's fantasy violence, and nobody really ever getting hurt, nobody actually losing their life, where you had emotionally attached to some characters. Maybe they'll leave, but they always make a return, but they'll leave and, go off. But like with regular anime, you get attached emotionally to these characters and you lose them, and that's another reason why I feel like there's separation between them. And again, I still fondly enjoy these animes. I'm not clowning or bashing the animes. I finally enjoyed. They had great memories of them, but I do understand the separation. Why people will say like, "Oh, my first real anime was this, this, and this," while they still had, like, in their younger years, had watched shows such as like Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Bakugan, Digimon, stuff like that. And it makes sense. In the end, I feel like I understand that, you want to differentiate, like, that's for a younger audience, younger demographic. Now we're in a much older space where seinen and shonen are really making the step up, and that's what I just felt like. I wanted to rant that and talk about that, because I really feel like that's something big in the anime community, which is not talked about a lot, how we make a difference between shows like that. And so, yeah, if you do me a favor, go ahead and give me a like and subscribe, and always, have a blessed one.